Okay, well, welcome to Hotline. I'm here with my co-host, Sean Rush, and I've got you...
You're the cameraman, come on.
Cameraman, yes, indeed. And a hot hat for Sean Rush. And this is Hotline for Friday, and we're just going to have a little chat about something that's a little bit troubling up at the Kapiti Coast. There's thousands of houses that have been deemed to be flood hazard. Can you just take us through 101 layman's terms about whether this is for real and what we've got to worry about?
Sure. It's a long story which started in about 2012. Kapiti Coast District Council did it as a result of some work they did, some modelling on sea level rise and floods. Found that a significant number of properties would be in danger of flooding at some time in the future. And they've updated that work now with an engineering company using Ministry for Environment guidelines, which are really, really exaggerated, highly conservative. Anyway, it turns out that thousands more of our properties up there are going to have put on our limb notices a message saying that this place is in danger of flooding. We've already had insurance companies look at that and go, well, we're not going to insure you. We've had people who are choosing not to go to open homes for those properties. So it's a real impact. It's happening all around New Zealand. And what they are doing is they are using an exaggerated, implausible climate model. Know a little bit about climate change? A little bit.
Implausible climate models.
Yeah.
Now, just for the people that are in their on their couches at home, what does that mean? Does that mean if I buy a house in Kapiti and then the council change the rules to say you're in a flooded inundation zone, I'm rooted?
Well, in the real world, you're not. But if you were looking to maybe have that home as an investment property that you want to sell in 2 or 3 years' time, well, you won't get your money back.
So you're saying that they have done this. Is the science behind it for real? Is there a chance that we can be flooded up in Kapiti, around Matty Road?
Really, I mean, the ratepayer group up there have just had a report back from a Waikato University scientist who's been doing this sort of stuff for 40 years. And what do you know, actually, bizarrely, we all know there's an accretion trend along the Kapiti Coast.
What's accretion mean?
Accretion means is when your beaches are actually getting bigger. So actually the beachfront is moving closer to Australia, and so all those properties have got less chance of being inundated than they did 10 years ago or 50 years ago. Or my property, where the beach used to be right where it was built.
So is it a storm in a teacup? Why do council do this?
So, well, the Ministry for Environment have constructed this guidance. Now, the problem is that the legislation requires them to use likely climate modelling. So for the future effects of climate change, you need to look at what's likely going to happen. So that means you use a measured, robust scenario, which suggests that, which looks like it's middle of the road. What they Ministry of Environment require us to do is to use one that was described by one lead scientist in the area is one I don't believe, no one believes. That's a university
But how can
professor.
they get away with this? Well, these are everyday people up in the Kapiti Coast that have bought a house and the rules have been changed, and if they want to sell the house, they're going to potentially lose money, there's going to be stress, they can't get insurance. Well, just in a nutshell, without going into barrister talk, what can people do?
Sorry, I think we are at the barrister talk phase. First of all, if you have an insurance company tell you we're not going to insure you because we don't like the limb report, ring them up and challenge them, because every time I've heard of someone ringing and challenging, I've had their premium adjusted. So make sure you do that.
That's the first thing you
do. If you have
ring and
problem
challenge, don't accept it.
If your premiums are going up, you don't know why, ring your insurance company and get a breakdown as to what. Make sure that nothing is being put in there because of some weirdo sea level rise that might happen at 2100 when the contract of insurance is an annual one. So your insurance your insurance company only cares what's happening in the next 12 months.
Is this going to tip back in the favour of the property owner? Is there a model coming along that's going to say to the insurance companies and the council to back away, or are they locked in on this thinking forever?
No, they are. I mean, Ministry of Environment, to be fair, suggests you model 4 different climate scenarios. But as you can expect, the lower one and the higher one are less likely to happen than the 2 in the middle. But you know what? There's an even bigger secret which I didn't know anything about. But apparently, for beaches that have an accretion trend, like the most sandy beaches, so that's most of New Zealand, sea level rise just accelerates that trend. Do you get what I'm saying?
No.
So basically, if you've got a sandy beach, that's probably because sediment has been deposited on it from
the rivers,
the local rivers and so forth. And as a consequence, Petone Beach is another one, some of the South Coast, not so much in the Hawke's Bay, but certainly on Kapiti. And what they describe it, the scientists call it, is accommodation space. So if you've got plenty of water, which has got plenty of sediment, and you add more water, you just add more sediment, then it's called you've increased the accommodation space. So that means more sand can be deposited. So actually it creates its own natural barrier from coastal inundation, but nowhere in the Ministry for Environment's guidance does it say that. So I had a bit of Google of this, accommodation space, folks. Google it up. Sure enough, there it is. Encyclopedia Britannica, they see it. Different other Cambridge University papers. So it's a real thing.
So you're saying we're stuck with it?
What I'm saying is I'm telling you what everyone who lives on the coast in Kapiti already knows, that the beach is getting closer and closer to Australia. Their homes are getting more and more protected from coastal inundation than ever before. Now, we still need to worry about floods, but we know how to handle those. Flood events typically actually are caused by the drains being blocked, believe it or not. You've got a lot of rain, make sure you clean drains. When I was a city councillor, we had one heavy rain event and it flooded Miramar particularly really badly. The next time it came along, we got the weather forecast, sent the teams out to clear the drains in Miramar, and it had a massive difference, believe it or not.
Excellent. Well, that was a catch up on what's happening up in Kapiti with coastal inundation, and some pretty technical terms in there, but I think the takeaway point is if the insurance company's playing funny buggers with you, go and get a...
Yep. If you want some more information, Google Coastal Ratepayers United. That's a not-for-profit group of folks that I'm participating in, along with the scientists from Waikato and a few other senior people in the community, and they've got all the information you need. If you're concerned, feel free to reach out to me or reach out to Coastal Ratepayers United.
That was Hotline at Malthouse today.
Malthouse.